Hello everyone, welcome back to Longevity Insider. I'm your host Eva, and on this channel we are looking on all of the ways how we are trying to live a little or a lot longer. And today we are talking about one of my favorite topics, DNA tests. You can find very old videos of mine on YouTube where I'm taking different DNA tests from Nebula Genomics, 23andMe, Dental Labs. I tried them all, and you can see my honest experience and my naive opinion because I was just 22 at the time. And this obsession of mine led me to start my current company, Macromo, together with my best friend Petr when we were just kids. I want to look at what I think about DNA tests after 4 years and what I think about the industry as a whole. And should you take a DNA test? That's the most important question we will be asking ourselves today. So the way I'm looking at DNA tests as a whole is that it can give you a good direction. That means we are looking at cards we got for our life. We are looking at our risks. We are looking at how we metabolize certain things. And we are looking at what kind of supplements are approximately right for me. It's not a tool that will give you all of the answers, and I would highly recommend to get blood tests first, because I feel like the current state of the body, the blood tests are more telling for general public. And DNA tests are, I would say, like the bigger picture thing. So definitely when I don't have a lot of money, I feel like blood tests will be better and DNA tests are nice to have. In 2020-ish, I started to be really interested in longevity, or back then biohacking. So that means I wanted to get into shape. I wasn't as slim as I'm right now. I had acne, I felt bloated, and I felt like I'm not 100% happy with my body. I would say majority of the reasons were due to my lifestyle. I was eating sweets, I wasn't exercising as much, even though I was trying to get into gym and started to exercise. It wasn't very consistent and high intensity. So I took all of the different tests. I did my whole genome sequencing with Nebula Genomics. I think the company doesn't exist anymore. I did gut microbiome test and made a lot of blood tests as well. And I tried to puzzle all of the data together. I was very frustrated by how long it took. I was very frustrated by how the companies handled privacy in terms of user data. And I was very frustrated by the fact that I did not understand the results and had to Google everything. It wasn't written in an easy to understand way. So when we founded Macromo, it was very important for us that the products we are going to sell are going to be cheap, fast, easy to follow and understand, and there will be actionable recommendations. That means I can look at the health as a complete picture, and I can, give it to a regular person and they can change their lifestyle based on this data. So that's what we are trying to do in Macromo till this day, and that's what I'm trying to do in my personal longevity journey. All right, so what is the process of taking a DNA test? Well, you have two options, blood and saliva. And buccal swabs. So we all learned about buccal swabs during COVID. That's pretty straightforward. Most of the companies use saliva because it is reliable and painless. You don't need to prick yourself with a little lancet, so that's pretty cool. The only disadvantage of saliva samples is that they can be contaminated with your oral microbiome. So these microbes have DNA as well, like anything that is living, and they can contaminate your sample. So when you are taking a DNA test from any D2C company, you usually get a kit like this one, where you have all of the things for you to collect your sample. And it's pretty easy. You just follow the instructions. There are instructional videos or there is a printed manual. You just have to fill in this tube with your saliva till the line. You wouldn't believe me, there are so many people who can't follow a very simple instruction, which is spit to this tube till the line, the marked line. And they are not able to follow this very simple instruction, and that leads to us having to send them a new sample, and these tubes are expensive. And it takes time for our company, it takes time for them. Please, people, read the manuals. They are there for a reason. I know you can fix your IKEA chair without a manual. Maybe it's a little clunky, but with this kind of stuff, which is inherently expensive, you could care a little bit more and spend 2 minutes to read the manual. So once you complete this step, which is very difficult to do, you have to return the sample to laboratory. There are a couple of laboratories in the world that are specializing in analyzing DNA. Usually companies give you a label and you need to bring it to post office. In Macromo, we wanted to simplify the things so you can select when a courier will pick up your sample inside our app. The courier will come and they will take your sample and bring it to the nearest lab. Then the lab is processing your samples, and I was very frustrated by the more traditional genetic testing companies that I purchased a test from, because it took them so much time. It took them like 6 months to analyze my whole genome. And I get it. They were batching the samples to get the lowest price and then shipping them overseas. And then that took a lot of time, right? We decided to do it differently, and we are offering a DNA test that is the fastest on the market. So 20 days for a microarray DNA premium one and 40 days for a whole genome. And I believe we will be able to get a whole genome even faster very soon. So then you get your results, in our case, in the app. And in a lot of cases, you get a very long PDF, like 100 pages, that you can read through and enjoy. I don't enjoy long PDFs, so I prefer the app with all of my other data, such as blood tests. So let's look at my results. And some people are very sensitive about it. I'm the kind of girl that is okay with people knowing her cholesterol levels and what she's going to die for, most likely. First, the diseases category. I have a increased risk of basal cell carcinoma, which is a type of skin cancer. And that means I'm very much focused on not going to sun and to look like a vampire. So I use SPF 50 every day. I'm thinking about getting that little umbrella like Brian Johnson has. And I'm trying to stay away from sun. Hopefully it works. I also do a lot of prevention. I go to dermatologist to check my freckles to make sure I don't have any skin cancer. In fact, today I'm going to get 2 freckles removed and I'm so scared. So I take this very seriously. Now let's look at more, I would say, okay-ish topic, nutrition. I have a higher need for omega-3, so I supplement it daily. It really helps me. And in terms of other supplements, I'm pretty average, but either way, I'm doing a blood test and then I'm making sure I'm taking the right things based on a blood test. My big goal is to live till 100 years old, but my genetics doesn't think so. So when you look at all of the popular longevity genes, such as STRT1, FOXO3 and MTHFR, I'm average. I don't have any longevity genes and I'm so sad about it because I will have to try harder than people who do have these genes, but I will beat them by my discipline and by a healthy lifestyle. And when we look at sleep and fitness, I'm so average. I can take all of the advice we presented in the previous video and it will work for me. Nothing special over there. So if you look at my results, it's a general direction. It's something I should do, something I should focus on, but it's not life-changing. I guess the skin cancer one is life-changing. It really makes me to do prevention, but the other ones are soft. And that's basically what DNA tests are about. They give you a direction. For some people, there can be life-changing information, but for most of the people, it will be a nice-to-have test. So again, if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have budget for this, please take a blood test. It's more important for you to know the current state of your body. Now, there are different technologies how to analyze your DNA. The most commonly used ones are whole genome sequencing, more specifically next generation sequencing, and the second one are microarrays. So with next generation sequencing, the machine is reading your entire DNA. That means we know what bases you have on which position, and we know if it's A, C, G, or T. This means that you can analyze it as many times as you want as science progresses and as there are new data sets. And it gives you more and more information over time. This is great, but it's an investment into yourself, and that means it's slightly more expensive. We are sequencing in Europe, and that means it's even more expensive compared to some other overseas laboratories. When we look at the microarrays, it's basically looking if there is a genetic variant. So it's, Boolean. So it's an array. You have pre-selected genetic variants, and the array is looking if it's present or not. Now, not all of the arrays are the same. So a lot of companies are using the small aluminum microarrays that is looking at 1.3 million genetic variants. The ones in Macromo are looking at 4.6 million genetic variants. And we want to switch to new ones once they come out, which will look at even more genetic variants. Why is it important? Well, more data, more accurate results. It's pretty straightforward, but also more data, more expensive. So you see, it has to be kind of balanced when we are looking at products people can buy. Some of the companies that are looking at less genetic variants will then use statistics to give you even more reports, even though there is some like statistical magic going on, which is not always wrong, but it's not as good as a whole genome sequencing. So to recap, my personal story, I'm very glad I took that DNA test because it motivated me to focus on my lifestyle. I have perfect biomarkers. I'm slim with 18% body fat. I feel better than ever. And it just transformed my life in terms of founding my business and speaking with so many interesting people. One would say that the stress I got from startup founding will decrease my lifespan, but honestly, it's worth it. I met so many interesting people and traveled the world and all of that stuff thanks to being a startup founder, so I would not exchange it for anything. And also, I feel like this longevity lifestyle that I practice for approximately 3 years now is helping me to tackle all of the challenges and to be very present with my team and happy. I feel like when you are not taking care of your health and ruin it for a business, it's not worth it. And with that said, I hope you will check Macromo tests, specifically Macromo Premium and VGS. I hope you will subscribe to this channel and let me know what topics you want me to talk about next. And yeah, thanks so much for watching Longevity Insider. We will see each other next time. Have a lovely day. Bye.